Vids 090 back here with another video today. And in today's video, this is about the Canberra Raiders and, just my thoughts on their season start, because obviously has been pretty poor. And I'll be, going through my thoughts on the start of their season and what they need to improve on. But before I start the video, by the way, in case you didn't know, today is my birthday, so I want to thank everyone for all the kind messages that I got sent this morning. Whether that was on Instagram or whatever. Thanks again for all the kind messages on just all happy birthday messages from everyone. I really appreciate it. It was a good day today actually, because it was good to have a good day on my birthday. The weather was pretty nice as well, very sunny where I was, so. Look, it was a decent day overall for my birthday, and yeah, I'm just grateful for all the nice messages I received this morning and during the day and that. So yeah, thanks for all the birthday wishes, guys. I greatly appreciate it. But let's get into the video. So Canberra the Raiders now have a three wins and 5 losses to start the year, and for a side that was expected to do a lot better in 2021, to be mainly around the top of the ladder, like maybe around first, second, third, or fourth, wherever, around that sort of category. That's where the Raiders were supposed to be expected at this time this year. But the Raiders have been one of the most disappointing clubs to start the 2021 NRL season, I believe, along with Knights and the Sharks. But I think Raiders have been the most disappointingest, because the Raiders were expected to do a lot more this year than what the Sharks and Knights were, to be honest. So it's been a really poor start by Canberra. I don't know what the go is with them, but I think they could potentially turn around, because I think Canberra only need another another win or two to mainly turn around this season. They're still going not as bad as what other clubs are, but. For a club that was supposed to be around the Storm, Panthers, Rabbitohs, etc., they're one of the most premier clubs in the NRL, Canberra, premiership winning side, and it's a threat to the competition. They're really suffering at the moment, and there's something not right in Canberra, I don't think. The decision to kind of rest or drop Josh Papali was a bit strange in my opinion. I think Josh Papali should never be rested. I think that he's always turns up for Canberra every week. I don't see what's wrong with his form. Ricky Stewart said that he deserves a rest because he needs to find the old Papali again. Sorry, but yeah, look, I don't know. I don't think Josh Papali deserved to be knocked out of that Raiders side. I think he should have played yesterday against South, and even though they lost, I think they would have been a better side with Josh Papali and that. And even Josh Hodgson, they rested Josh Hodgson as well, but I think Josh Hodgson should be definitely playing. I mean, Tom Starling's a good young kid, but Josh Hodgson needs to be actually in that team somewhere, because he's one of the best hookers in the comp, and you're going to rest him against teams like Souths and all that. I mean, that's ridiculous in my opinion. I know Ricky's just trying to get the Raiders back into form, but the rest of those sort of players like Papali and Hodgson, I don't think it's the right choice by Ricky. Of course, obviously losing Charlie Clockstad back in round 4 something due to a 2-month neck injury. That's obviously really tough for Canberra, because obviously he's one of the best fullbacks in the game and does a lot for that Canberra Raiders team, Charlie Clockstad. I think his backup Caleb Aikens is doing a decent job, but of course he doesn't bring the same impact and same influence that CNK has on that Raiders side, of course. So yeah, look, losing him for 2 months is obviously a big blow for Canberra. But just their backline overall, I think the backline looks a bit worse than it was last in the year before. 2019, 2020, Canberra had better backlines, but now this year they just look a bit. Their backline looks a bit boring in my opinion. Not enough strike, no speed. Defensively, those players in the backline have been really bad. Like Curtis Scott, I'm calling out. Curtis Scott has been really terrible for Canberra. I think his defence is shocking. Yesterday against South, he was terrible, letting about 3 tries on his edge, and then in previous games as well, he's been pretty bad as well. He's been pretty bad. Curtis Scott, Jared Croker has not been the same player as he once was in 2019. That's the only year he had a really good year in 2019. In 2020, had a decent year, but not great. And in 2021, he's not having a good year. Jared Croker, the Raiders captain, so. Of course, he's a quality player and class player, Jared Croker, and I expect him to turn this form slump around, but I'll tell you what, he's been one of their worst players to start the year, in my opinion, Jared Croker. Who else? Jack Wighton's been very average this year. Jack Wighton, ever since he won the Dally M medal for the Raiders last year in 2020, He's been a completely different player, brings no impacts to that Raiders side, does not do enough. He's been really poor for Raiders this year, in my opinion. He has not backed up the form that we all expected to see him play as this year. Look, I don't know. Canberra, these are some of the games they should have won. So they should have been the Warriors back in what round was it? I think it was round 4 as well. I'm pretty sure. Let me just think quickly. Yeah, I think it was round 4. No, that was a game they should have won, the Raiders. I mean, they were winning like 26-6 at half time. And then in Canberra, like the Raiders were winning at home, like in Canberra, 26-6 at half time against Warriors. Then second half, the Warriors come back, score a lot of tries, and they win 34 points to 31. Now, that's concerning for the Raiders to choke that sort of lead. Like, leading by 20 points at half time should be enough to get you home, but to choke that sort of lead is really disappointing for a team like Canberra, who expected to do a lot better this year. And that's a concern, maybe that's down to attitude, how they've dropped off in that game. And, their wins, like, they've had some okay wins, but the wins against Tigers in round 1, the Titans this year, and who was the other team they beat? There was another team, but it might come back to me a little bit later on. But still, even though they won those 3 games, they've only just won them. Like, against Titans, they hardly won that. Titans were, like, all over Canberra in the first half. The Raiders just wrestled their way and scored some, tries really close to the line and just, they get lucky in Cogra. And then against Tigers were dominating Canberra the whole game. I was shocked how bad the Raiders were actually playing, but they get but again, Tigers, they kind of flopped in the second half, and the Raiders obviously took advantage of the Tigers' bad form around 1, so that's why Canberra probably won. And look, I don't know, they have not been great this year, Canberra. I don't think that they haven't scored over 30 points this year yet. Like, all the other teams have mainly scored over 30 points, and that except for Bulldogs and Broncos. But the thing is, with the Raiders, they have not scored over 30 points yet. They've been scoring only 24, 26 points every week. That's the maximum they've been scoring points this year, Raiders. So that's not good enough, I don't think, for a team like Canberra. I mean, they've got a lot of attacking weapons like Jack White, George Williams. I know Josh Hodgson's hardly played this year, but he's also considered. And like they've got a lot of attacking weapons there, Canberra, but their attack this year's been really stale. It's looked really diabolical, their attack, and their defence looks really bad. And I put their attack and defence down to attitude. I think attitude's a real problem at Canberra. Maybe it's because most of their players are low in confidence, I'm not sure, but I'd say that their attack and defence needs to improve quickly, because if it doesn't, then they're in a lot of trouble, and they could be facing the prospect of missing the finals for the first time since 2018. So that's an unwanted record right there for Canberra to, miss the finals this year when they're expected to at least win a premiership this year, because a lot of people predicted Canberra to win the premiership this year, but they're not looking like a premiership winning team so far right now. They're looking like a bottom 4 team fighting for the wooden spoon, in my opinion. Now, that's harsh, but it's the truth. Oh yeah, and I just remember that the Raiders only just beat the Sharks at Cogra as well. And that was by, and you know what? Back in that game, the Sharks should have won that game in round 3 against Raiders, but thanks to Chad Townsend's shocking kicking, the Raiders just won in the end, 12-10, I'm pretty sure, something like that. So the Sharks should have won that game, but Canberra, they've been really awful this year so far. I don't know what's going to happen. I think they have to really win next week or the week after, otherwise they're in big trouble. So I don't know. Hopefully Ricky can get them firing again, but right now Canberra are in a hole. They're in a form slump, and we'll see if they can get any confidence again to finally start playing some good footy like everyone expecting them to play like as this year. But guys, that's the end of the video. What are your thoughts on the Raiders so far this year? Thanks again for all the birthday wishes, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in another video later on.